Hey friends, welcome to What's Good in Your Neighborhood. I'm Lauren Nicole, and as always, excited to bring you news on what's going on in your neighborhood and the community. Today, I'm talking with Dr. Flaxenberg and Gordon Heuser about the upcoming kidney walk. So welcome in. Thanks for chatting with me.
Thanks for having us.
Let's start by kicking off by talking about this amazing event that's coming up, and then we can talk a little more about kidney disease, if you don't mind, while I have you in here.
That sounds perfect. So the kidney walk, the Southern Colorado Kidney Walk, I think this is our 10th year. It's happening on Sunday, September 29th, 8:30 in the morning.
So
Memorial
early.
Park.
Why do we always have to do things so early?
Well, because we're working on doctor's hours.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, fine. And it's a walk, right?
It's a walk,
It's
yeah.
a walk. This is what I love to hear.
That's right. So exercise, raising money for a great cause. Really encourage everyone to come out and join us.
Okay, that sounds fantastic. And it's raising money for a really good cause at the National Kidney Foundation. Let's talk a little bit about that. What do they do and what are we supporting?
Yeah, so the National Kidney Foundation is a really important organization that supports awareness, screening events, educational events, and research into kidney disease, which many people are unaware is a really large problem that affects millions and millions of people in this country. And so it's a great organization, a tremendous event, and really looking forward to seeing everyone out there.
Yeah. And all these resources that we're raising that weekend, they stay in Colorado, right?
Absolutely.
So we're going back to making sure people have the support and the resources that they need here, in addition to hopefully furthering the science to really help make an impact here.
Yeah, maybe put me out of business, which would be
good.
Well,
unfortunately, I've seen the waiting list for get in with a nephrologist, and I don't think you're going out of business anytime soon.
No, but that would be a terrific outcome. That would be okay.
That I hear you.
Yeah.
That's a lovely goal and ideal. We were talking a little bit beforehand, and you were saying the prevalence is actually a lot higher than I thought it was.
Yeah, kidney disease affects about 1 in 7 adults in this country.
I feel like that's wild.
It is.
Why is it that I don't hear about this one?
Well, one of the reasons is that the vast majority of those people have no idea.
Okay.
And so, funding screening, getting people tested, making people aware of kidney disease is really an important goal because there are tools that we have that can slow down or prevent the progression of the disease. So the earlier we make the diagnosis, the more likely we are to be able to treat them and prevent, further complications.
Okay. And in your case, Gordon, maybe you can talk to us about what that looked like for you. How did you find out that you were dealing with kidney issues?
Yeah, I'd been healthy up until about the age of 53. I had done a lot of marathons. I was a runner. I was a hiker. I was a skier. And it was the summer of 2012. I just started feeling a little run down, a little tired. And it kind of progressed over the summer. And I thought, it's just stress from work. Well, fortunately, I ended up in a doctor's office in late August of 2012. They did some blood tests, and lo and behold, I learned I was in kidney failure, and I went on dialysis within a week.
That's wild.
I was one of that silent majority that had no idea that I was sick. And
I can imagine that was really shocking, too, especially to be so healthy and running and active and doing all of those things. What was that like for you?
Yeah, it came up out of the blue. It was like being hit upside the head with a 2x4, quite frankly, because I had to change my whole lifestyle. And when you go on dialysis, it's truly a lifestyle change. I mean, you have to arrange for so many hours on the dialysis machine. It makes you tired, so you have to adjust your working hours. I'm fortunate that I'm self-employed, so I was able to do that. Some people don't have that luxury. Mm-hmm. You have to change your diet. You can't eat the same things you did. It turns your life upside down as well as the family's life. My wife had to learn how to cook new things and things like that.
What were the biggest, I'm just being nosy now, but what are the dietary things that change?
Well, when you're on dialysis, you have to watch your phosphorus levels, so you can't eat cheese, and you end up eating what I consider to be a high-carb diet.
We can't live that life.
White rice and just things that I really don't care much for.
Okay.
So, it was not good. I had to give up a lot of stuff.
How long did you have to go through that process?
I was lucky. I was only on dialysis for about 11 months.
Wow.
And I had a brother who was a match, and he stepped forward and he gave a kidney to me.
What an experience. And I'm sure for him as well. I know that the donor that I know that's given a kidney before, doesn't necessarily, aside from donating it, goes back to a fairly normal lifestyle. Does that return you back to a normal nice lifestyle then as well once you get the transplant?
After the kidney transplant, I lead a completely normal lifestyle. I eat a normal diet, And in fact, I always tell people, after the transplant, I woke up from the anesthesia and I knew something good had happened. I felt almost instantaneously better.
Really?
Yeah, it was that marked.
Huh.
Yeah. It
Well,
was
that's
amazing.
wild. Do you perform any of these procedures? Or,
No, so all the transplants in Colorado happen in Denver. We don't do
Okay.
kidney transplants here in Colorado Springs, but I do take care of many, many transplant patients. It's a very common story. One of the most common things people say to me after they get a transplant, after they've been on dialysis for a while, is I didn't realize how terrible I felt until I got a new kidney.
Wow.
And,
How long are most people on dialysis?
Well, they're on dialysis until they get a transplant or unfortunately don't survive. So the median survival for a dialysis patient is between 4 and 5 years.
Okay.
The current wait list for a deceased donor kidney in Colorado is longer than that. It's about 6 or 7 years. So the
see.
majority of patients will not be transplanted, will not survive long enough to be transplanted. We encourage live donors to come forward like your friend. That's the quickest way to get a kidney. And in Gordon's case, he got very lucky. He had a family member willing to donate a kidney to him, so he didn't have to spend very long on dialysis.
I mean, did he have a family member willing to donate, or was he
Well,
like,
we don't know what
hey,
happened
you know
behind
what?
the scenes.
We
Yeah.
captured him in the backyard,
Yeah.
and we're bringing him over. I've got a kidney.
If we can leverage family dynamics, whatever we're willing to do to get someone off dialysis, we're willing to do
Yeah.
it. So, yeah.
Wow, that's wild to me. So 1 in 7, again, is so many, and you were talking about how silent it is. But what are some of those like treatments? You said there's lots of options.
Yeah.
What kind of treatment options are we looking at if we can catch it earlier?
Yeah, sure. So it depends on what's causing the problem. So the vast majority of people in this country and around the world, the cause of their kidney disease is either diabetes or high blood pressure, or a combination of the two. So certainly treating those underlying disease processes comes first. Healthy eating, healthy lifestyle, losing weight. Then we have medications that are available and have been shown to delay or sometimes even stop the progression of kidney disease, because it's a spectrum, right? So when you start out with abnormal kidney function, you still have enough to not require dialysis. And so
Okay.
Gordon only has 1 kidney, so
Yeah.
he only has 50% of a normal.
But both
repertoire.
were failing in your case then, and
Correct.
that's right?
Yes. Yeah.
That's how that works?
Yeah, but
Do
right
most people go with both, or like one goes out before the other? I'm not...
Most times it's a process that affects both kidneys at the same time. So if you diagnose the problem early, you have plenty of reserved kidney function that if we were able to preserve that, we would stop the problem from happening and prevent you from going on dialysis, which, as Gordon points out, is a life-changing event, both for the patient and for their family, right? It's a tragedy on all levels.
Yeah.
And we like to prevent it if at all possible. So there are ways that we can do that through lifestyle modification and certain medications. But the first step is to identify that you have the disease, and then identify through a nephrologist like myself what's causing the problem, and then come up with a treatment plan.
Okay, so in your case, you just weren't feeling yourself and feeling run down, but are there any early warning signs that were like, what
Yeah.
sends us to the doctor, and the doctor says like, oh, we should send you over to nephrology?
Yeah, so this is the really bad news.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, so there really aren't any symptoms of early kidney disease. The way that this is diagnosed is through a routine blood test.
Okay, so
And-
getting your yearly.
Correct. So that's very important, especially if you're someone who has a disease process like hypertension or diabetes. You're at risk.
Okay.
And so those patients, we especially encourage to see their primary care doctor routinely and have routine blood tests and urine tests to identify the problem early on.
Okay. I mean, he's like, basically, you
Yeah.
have to be taking care of yourself if you're going to catch this.
I think that's true of everything, but
Yeah.
in this case, for sure.
Yeah.
I was told by my nephrologist after I'd gone into complete kidney failure, had I gone to the doctor sooner and caught it sooner, I would have been able to avail myself of some of those options
Yeah.
and maybe slowed it down or perhaps stopped the progression.
But I'm sure when you're running 26 miles at a time and running marathons and doing things, you're thinking like, maybe I'm tired for other reasons.
I think part of it was that, and just part of it, I led a very healthy lifestyle, but you don't think it's ever going to
Yeah.
happen to you, because it is a silent, in my opinion, a silent killer. And if people would take the time when they have their yearly, insist getting what I call I think you can correct me, but a basic metabolic panel to at least give
That's right. Yeah.
certain blood levels and urinalyses
Listen, they're still
to see
trying
what's
to be a
going
doctor.
on. And so,
I encourage you to come over here and join us.
but if you do that, you might catch it early. And as he said, if you catch it early, you might be able to slow it down or perhaps even prevent total kidney failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is really what we're trying to accomplish, right? You can deal with mildly abnormal, even moderately or severely abnormal kidney function and live a normal life. What really does impact your life and change things tremendously, almost beyond repair, is when you end up with kidney failure, what we call end-stage kidney disease. And that requires dialysis or a transplant in order to stay alive.
Well, that sounds like a really challenging profession to be in for you personally. Was there anything that got you into this work, or like what?
Oh, that's a long and sordid tale.
What's the short version of this?
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I've always been interested in medicine and science and helping people and figuring out better ways to do that. And so nephrology, for better or for worse, there's just a lot of opportunity to help people in a lot of need. Yeah.
Well, that's a great point. So where's the science headed? Where's the research headed? How close are we getting to maybe having earlier detection or something like that?
Yeah, well, it's been kind of an exciting past few years in nephrology, at least from my perspective. Most people maybe not find it exciting, but we have several new treatments that have been proven to be successful at delaying or stopping the progression of kidney disease in certain types of patients. We've made tremendous advancements in kidney transplant. We've only been transplanted kidneys for a little over 50 years now through human history. So the fact that we're doing so many of these, and there are probably, I think last time I looked, about 500,000 people in this country living with a kidney transplant, which is just mind-blowing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it really is. And those are lives that have been saved. Those are just, it's just a tremendous advance. And our ability to prevent your immune system from rejecting someone else's kidney has come a long way as well. So now it's a relatively uncommon thing. In the old days, we used to see people rejecting kidneys left and right because we had no way to, or really poor ways of suppressing your immune system. Now we have much better ways of doing that. There are really cool things happening. You may have heard about a pig kidney being transplanted into a human. That's an interesting development, xenotransplantation. So there's a long way to go on that.
Okay, what I would like to see happen, can I influence the research? Are we here today to talk about what Lauren would like to see?
Sure.
I would like to grow one out of the stem cells that we collected from my kid so he can grow his own second one.
Yeah.
And then somehow we got to get the tubing to line up. I'm pretty sure, like, even if we grew him one in a petri dish somewhere, we'd have to connect it somehow.
Well,
so that's like...
Listen, I don't want to, give you a big head, but that's a great idea.
Can you get right on that?
Yeah, that's right. I know, but not to go too far down a rabbit hole, but one of the main problem with kidney transplant, as I kind of alluded to, is that it's not your kidney and your immune system tries to reject it. The advantage of growing your own kidney made of your own stem cells and your own DNA and your own immune system is there's no chance of rejection.
This would be like the surrogate for growing your own kidney. We could start it as a lima bean, maybe I don't know, in your arm or something. Yeah. This is, I know, it's fine.
It turns out it's a little bit more complicated.
Are you sure?
We've looked into it. Yeah.
Do you have to like lima beans?
It's
well, then it grows. And you're like, that's transplantable. Let's move it.
But you're right.
Cool.
I mean, but you're thinking about that conceptually correctly, which is that's the way we solve kidney disease, right?
All right. So, Doctor here is going to go grow us some new ones in the lab somewhere after we're done with the pigs.
Yeah, after we're done with the pigs.
We have to solve that first.
I think that would be good. But in the meantime, I would encourage everyone to be organ donors. And they can go to their driver's license.
Thank you for bringing it back. Look at this.
That's right.
Someone has to keep us on top.
They can go back to they can go to their to the Department of Motor Vehicles and use their driver's license and be an organ donor, save a life.
I mean, how long is the wait list right now? Do we know in Colorado?
Yeah, the last time I looked, it was about 6 or 7 years.
Sorry, I asked that the wrong way. How many people are on it?
Oh, thousands and thousands. So right now there are over 500,000 people in this country who are on dialysis, and
y'all are just walking around with bonus kidneys out there. So I'm just saying, if anybody out there,
you don't need it. Give it to someone who does.
You don't need it. Just pass it along as one does.
Yes, a surplus kidney and spread it around.
And make yourself, on your license when you renew, check that box.
Absolutely. And if you have a family member with kidney disease, consider donating to that family member because it's truly life-changing. And my brother had that kidney transplant. He leads an absolutely normal life. He's a huge biker, and he went back to biking, and it's just like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, I mean, very few people have a chance to save a life.
Right?
And that's I wouldn't describe it any other way in terms of what Gordon's brother did, other than save Gordon's life.
Yeah, that sounds
Absolutely.
like one of the most meaningful opportunities that you could be given in life is to really help somebody else have theirs.
Absolutely.
I love it. Okay, so we've got the kidney walk coming up. We're going to get everybody registered. You guys are going to walk or run?
You can do either. Yeah.
He'll be running.
Nope, not going to run. I might
Really?
this weekend or next weekend.
Well,
After
Gordon-
next, I'm going to do a mosey, I think.
Yeah,
A
Gordon,
mosey.
well, Gordon and I have.
I
we
love
have,
this lingo.
We have
I'm in for a
we
mosey.
have administrative roles, right? We're the co-chairs of the
That's
walk.
right. You
Yeah,
have
so-
to hold the microphone and talk to people as they lap or whatever it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
Exactly.
fair. I love it.
We're the face of the operation. So.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
The money makers right here, you know.
Nicely done, fellas. Nicely done. If we want to get registered for this, get a team together, maybe we could all run together, especially if we've been impacted personally by this disease. Where can we go online and find out more information?
Great question. So www.kidneywalk.org/Southern Colorado.
We'll just put it up there on the screen for them.
I
How about
appreciate
that?
that. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I would encourage everyone to come out, bring their friends and family.
Yes.
It's going to be a great day, a great walk.
It's September. It's going to be
And
beautiful.
we're hoping to raise no less than $77,000 to help advance research and give resources to people who are on dialysis and who need transplants.
I love that. They've got a big goal, $77,000 to accomplish a big task at hand. So thank you both for being with me to talk more about this event. Please make sure that you get online, register, get over there. If you just need to find out more information, you can also get that on the website. And thanks for providing our viewers and listeners today with so much more context for this thing that really impacts so many of us.
Absolutely.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. That's all we have for today, but we'll see you next time on What's Good in Your Neighborhood.